Ontario, here in Canada, commonly known as Chemical Valley. This is where 40% of Canada's petrochemicals come from. My small First Nation community is surrounded by over 60 petrochemical facilities. As a result, Aamjiwaang's inherent rights, human rights, and the rights of nature have been sacrificed zone for industry for over 100 years. Last week, my community went into lockdown due to dangerously high benzene levels, and we're still in lockdown. Children sick, childcare, schools closed, or administration closed, people stayed indoors and they fear the air they're breathing inside their homes. Why? Because we're a stone throw away from a massive INEOS plant that uses and releases benzene to produce styrene, a chemical used to make one of the most commonly used plastics. Our concern isn't only this one facility, but there is several, over 60. Yesterday, our council declared a state of emergency due to another benzene leak in the community, and this would never be allowed in a city like Ottawa or Toronto. What I'm sharing is nothing new. In fact, the UN Special Rapporteur on Human Health and Toxics visited my community when doing a tour of Canada. His report was issued in 2022, and for the sake of time, I please encourage you all to read it. With the United Nations rights of Indigenous people being adopted, it needs to be included in the plastic treaty because the people impacted by plastic pollution from extraction through pipelines to refineries to microplastics are the ones being impacted the most, mostly Indigenous people from around the world. It's worth mentioning that the environment I live in is a result of inadequate regulations, monitoring, and enforcement. Plastic pollution has been able to increase in my nation due to lack of regulations that would protect our rights and health from plastic pollution. We need stricter regulations that eliminate chemicals and polymers of concern with deadlines for outcomes that are enforced, and not in 100 years like the people of Aamjiwaang First Nation have had to go through and continue to go through. Industry self-reporting isn't working. We need regulations that guarantee Aamjiwaang and Indigenous people around the world a safe and healthy environment. We do not need another new plastic facility. What we need is binding cap on plastic production moving forward. And in the meantime, my community can't wait any longer for action. I'm calling on Canadian governments and the world to take immediate action to hold companies who are making us sick accountable. Chimiigwech.
Y ahora doy la palabra a la red latinoamericana y del Caribe